Welcome to the Great Canadian Wilderness. Here we're going to harvest. Well, actually we don't know yet. We're gonna go for a walk and see what we can find, and hopefully harvest something. So let's see what happens. Let's see what we can find.
But yeah, like he said, we're out. I haven't been here yet. This is a trail we come and look for mushrooms and all sorts of plants. I haven't seen how the season's looking yet here, so I'm curious. I'm curious to see what we got. Oh, and the date is May 3rd today, so yeah.
Aha, look what we found.
Here we have right here some horsetails. Perfect little vegetable when you want to cook them. Just poke them off fucking.
Yeah, these are horsetails, and they're at the perfect stage of eating because they're not too fully grown. They don't eat too much because they're super dense in minerals, but let's give this guy a bite.
It's a little bitter.
Are you picking up on that slight taco taste? Like very slightly.
Yeah.
What the?
Why is there like a slight taco taste?
What is that? I've never actually tasted that before.
This one's really, really young, so it'll be really tender. Let's try this one.
Oh, actually, that's a better idea.
Oh my goodness. That's the way to go.
Oh yeah, the young ones, yeah, for sure.
Horsetails are also really good for the skin. For the baths, you can scrub them on you like this. In the shower or whatever, get it all over your skin. Pretty sure it's good for the hair too. But also, when they grow full, they get bristly. And you might have seen in my first my bushcraft video, you can use it as a toothbrush. If you don't have anything, you might get stuff in your teeth, but it's worth knowing. Bushcraft toothbrush.
So we have lots of dandelions as we're coming into here. Down this trail. I know there's a spot where there's cow parsnip, and I'm curious to see how far along they are in their season. But there's also wild ginger here, which we'll find some in a sec.
So, we found cow parsnips right here. Now, they are a bit too young. They get huge and they produce these giant leaves, and they'll shoot up a stem that has they'll have big buds on them, which are good for eating, really tasty, but they're too young. Apparently the stems you can eat too, but they are in the carrot family, so they do have these little hairs that if you're sweating and if you get the hairs on them in contact with the sun, you might get a reaction on your skin, but it doesn't happen in everybody, so it's more of a sensitivity thing, I think. Because some people are really allergic to it too, so they can't eat it. I have eaten the buds. They pretty much taste like celery times 10, but they're good. I don't have a reaction from it, so I've never tried the stems though, so maybe we'll have to give that a go. But they're a bit too young for flowers, buds yet, but we'll keep that in mind for future.
Look at the size of it.
They're pretty big for this area. For size comparison.
Yeah, it's pretty big for this area. Old growth cottonwood. Wow.
That feels amazing hugging that tree, actually.
Yeah.
And here we have wild ginger. Now it's not actually in the same family as ginger, but sure does smell like ginger. But they have these little rhizomes that grow across the ground. What you do is you just trail along it, and they can go for a ways. This one might stop right here. Yeah, it stops right there, but the rhizomes, I usually just take off the leaves, all that stuff. But this part here, you can dry it up and use it as ginger, or you can use it fresh. Oh, and it smells amazing. Now there is some talk of toxicity from wild ginger. If you're eating too much of it, over time it builds up in the kidneys or the liver. That is if you're consuming the hard plant matter. So it's best to make it into a tea if you want to use it. It's a really good tea, so you can use it just like you use ginger. It has same properties, and it's also prehistoric plant. It's been found in the bellies of woolly mammoths, believe it or not. And I don't think we'll be able to find the flowers at this time of year, but it's a very, very old world style flower. So it's a very cool plant. It's a slow grower, so don't over harvest it. Harvest a little bit when you see it. And some parts of Canada it's kind of rarer to find, but here in British Columbia it's all over the place in the valley. So wild ginger. Oh, so it smells amazing. Making this into an incense. I have to try that. We got another plant. It's Devil's Club. And you can't really tell. I mean, it doesn't have big leaves, but they're starting their buds. And they make these massive leaves. And you might have seen them on previous videos, or you might even know Devil's Club. They have these gnarly thorns, which if you get poked by them, the wounds fester. So they're nasty. But the Native Americans use the is it the root bark, I believe, that helps with sugar cravings. So they use it for diabetes, which apparently inhibits your sugar cravings, which I would love to try that, because we all need a little bit of that in our life, because we all struggle with sugar. So it's something I'm interested in, and I'm getting a phone call, so I'm not sure. They were traditionally harvested around Halloween time, which I do have a Halloween video where we attempted to find Devil's Club, so I can put a link up in the top there for you to check that out if you want. But now we found a spot here to come back on Halloween to harvest some of the root, because it's also, they've also used the stems for staffs to apparently, because it's said to have powers to ward off evil spirits, which is kind of cool. So it's a plant I'm interested in learning more about. But if you're Native American and you know any more information about how this was traditionally used and other uses, please let me know. I do have like a sliver of Native in my background, so I'm very interested to learn more about traditional uses of and spirituality of Native Americans. So send me some info.
Same here, dude.
Same here, all around. Give us all the knowledge. We need it in this day and age.
Yeah.
You've seen on the last Herbal walk, you've seen the purple violets. Well, these ones are yellow violets. And they show up in all sorts of, they're all the same, they're all violets, but they show up in different colors. I've seen them yellow, purple, pink, and white. So it's kind of cool. They show up all sorts of colors. I don't know if they have any more than that, but it's interesting. But they're still one of the most delicious wildflowers. You could just have a salad of violet flowers. So we've come to the end of our journey. Thanks for watching. Harvest some plants, get out there, go into nature, spend more time in the woods, eat plants, eat mushrooms, be safe, do your research. Don't just put anything in your mouth. Don't eat rocks. And have a good day.